If I had known, I would have held her hand that day and dragged her back home. That was the thought in my mind the morning Linda came to my door with tears in her eyes and a swollen face. But that was long after everything had scattered. Let me start from the beginning, the way I saw it with my own eyes. There was a girl named Linda. Linda was that kind of beauty people don't forget. Soft brown skin, dimples when she smiled, and a voice that could make you cry in church. She joined the choir when she was just a teenager, and everyone loved her. The pastor used to call her our shining star. If you saw her on Sunday in her white and blue choir uniform, you would think she just dropped from heaven. Even from secondary school, men were already showing interest. I remember when Mr. Desmond, a doctor in his early 30s, started sending gifts to the house. He bought her a phone, sent foodstuffs to her mother, and even paid part of her brother's school fees. But Linda said one thing: "He doesn't work in church. I can't marry a man who is not a church worker." We begged her. Her auntie talked. Her mother cried. But Linda stood like a Iroko tree. Not long after, another man came, Tunde, an engineer, who had just returned from Ghana, tall, clean, and respectful. He attended church sometimes, but was not a worker. Again, Linda said no. He is not committed in the house of God. I need someone who is on fire. I was close to her, so I knew everything. We all thought she was just principled. We didn't know that her own principles would put her into trouble eventually. One Thursday, during choir rehearsal, a new guy walked in with a Bible squeezed under his arm and a smile that showed all his teeth. His name was Daniel. He said he just moved to town and wanted to join the workforce immediately. He didn't even wait to settle before joining prayer band, usher team, and evangelism group. 3 Sundays later, pastor was already praising him from the altar. Brother Daniel is a true servant of God. Some of you should learn from his dedication. Linda started noticing him. You know that kind of noticing that turns to interest. I saw the way her eyes followed him when he lifted his hands during worship. Before long, he started walking her home after choir practice. One evening, I pulled her aside. "Linda, shine your eyes well, oh. You don't know him yet." She just laughed and said, "At least, this one is a church worker, not like the others you people were forcing on me." We left her. What else could we do? Not long after, Daniel started showing some red flags. The first sign was small but serious. One day, Daniel told Linda he forgot his transport money at home. After midweek service, she gave him 1,500 naira. She didn't complain. 3 days later, he claimed he needed airtime urgently to call his spiritual mentor. She sent it. After that, it became normal. If she said she was broke, he would say, "Sow a seed, God will provide for you. Remember, I'm your head." I told her, a man that's always collecting and not giving is not a giver of peace. But she said I was just overthinking. Daniel never bought her anything. Not biscuits, not recharge card, but he collected like tax collector. On her birthday, he only prayed for her on WhatsApp. No gifts, nothing. Yet when the church needed chairs, he told pastor that he and Linda would donate 10. Guess who brought the money? Linda. Her mother complained one day, "This boy has not paid even for pure water in this house, but he has finished my daughter's savings." Linda got angry and said, "Mommy, don't talk about my future husband like that." That was when I knew we were losing her. If Daniel sneezed in church, Pastor would bless him. If he raised his hands during worship, the choir would shout hallelujah. People started calling him assistant pastor. Linda was so proud. She said, "This is the kind of man I prayed for." She didn't see the way he insulted her behind closed doors. She didn't notice he followed her only when she had money. When she couldn't help him, he claimed she lacked faith. Sometimes, she would come to me and whisper, "He is a bit harsh, but at least he is dedicated to God." One Sunday after service, Daniel walked to the altar and proposed to her in front of everyone. The church shouted, Pastor prayed, women danced, Linda cried. Only few of us didn't smile because we knew something was off. The same night, he asked her for 50,000 naira to support an outreach. She borrowed money to give him. Till today, that outreach has not been seen. 2 months after they moved in together, after the whole marriage was done, Linda came to my door at 6 a.m. No wig, no slippers, no bag. Her left cheek was swollen. She said in a very quiet voice, "He said I disrespected him because I refused to give him my ATM card. He had beaten her up, locked her outside, and the same man who held mic in church and shouts, 'Holiness is our lifestyle.'" Her mother almost fainted. Her auntie wept. Pastor was shocked when he heard, but by then, Linda had already turned into shadow. Sometimes, I sit and think about all the men she chased away because they didn't carry offering baskets or sweep church floor. Good men, generous men, hardworking men, but she believed that church work meant good character. If you had seen Linda the day she left Daniel, you would understand why I started with the first sentence. Her beauty had faded. Her voice that once led worship was now shaking like paper, all because she refused to look beyond church titles. Sometimes the devil doesn't wear horns. He wears a worker's tag and sits in the front row of the church. And that is the story of Linda.